Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Film Artsy. I'm your guy, Trey Baker, and with the new teaser of the What If Marvel series coming out, we are going to put on our sleuth hats, piece together all the different scenes and screen grabs and watching other content to give you guys what we think a theory, a strain of stories that we're going to be getting in the new Marvel What If series. I know we're getting this series really soon, so if you just kind of hold out till like August 11th, you're like, I could know all of these storylines, but I think it's fun to theorize, and you guys clearly watch theory videos all the time. There is legitimately, I think, a couple episodes we could put together as this is what's going to happen, and what makes the What If series so much more important to pay attention to is because of Loki and all the branching multiverse timelines. Who's to say that this won't show up in the MCU? Who's to say? I think it's very possible. So if you're worried about potential spoilers and us being absolutely 100% correct without a fault, you should leave now and then come back and like I say, Trevor, you were right about everything. And if you don't care about any of those things, or you're just used to me being wrong about theories, well, stick around because we are about to get started.
Ask yourself the question, what if?
Starting off, this is the scene or the story that we all are pretty sure is happening. I don't know why I wouldn't, because it's literally been in every trailer, but we are going to get Peggy Carter taking the super serum and becoming Captain Carter, Captain Britain in the What If Marvel series. What's super cool about this is because Peggy Carter is actually a pretty awesome character in the MCU, and I feel like we just never really got her justice, but it does seem like Disney may be interested in bringing her back in that role of Captain Britain, in the role of this variant of Peggy Carter, which is really interesting because she is a really cool role model. You definitely, like, if you had to think about people who could take the super serum, obviously Steve Rogers was a great pick, but Peggy Carter is right up there. She does some pretty interesting things in these trailers that we see. I mean, I'm looking at screen grabs here. You've got her riding the first version of Iron Man, or maybe even, I don't even know if it's Iron Man. Is that Iron Man or is that the Obadiah's version? I'm not saying she's a villain. I'm just saying it's interesting. And then you see her fighting Shuma Gorath in one of the screen grabs. I mean, first off, we're getting Shuma in the series. Okay, I didn't know much about Shuma. He's this big tentacle creature with one ginormous eye. It says here that he's this amalgamation of evil mystical beings with toothy tentacles and a big eye. So we're gonna get it in the What If series. The next one, which we're pretty confident is happening, but actually is a really interesting story that we're not sure what we're gonna get, is the Tony Stark Killmonger relationship. As we've seen in previous teasers, we have Killmonger saving Tony Stark from the weapon that led to the shrapnel going to his heart, where he creates the electromagnet, which ultimately leads to the Iron Man armor. Well, what does that do with Iron Man at that point? Because he creates that, you know, arc reactor to keep the metal from getting to his heart, and ultimately is able to power these incredible pieces of armor, and he's not put in the caves or in that situation. So you have a Tony Stark who's maybe not learned from all of this completely yet, or is he going to be very grateful for being his life saved and helping Killmonger actually overcome his animosity and disdain for Wakanda? Next, and thirdly, this is one I'm probably the most excited for, is we're getting MCU zombies. That's right, this has been a very popular comic, is the undead superhero characters coming back and someone trying to fight them off. It's always in a multiverse situation, and it does seem to be centered around the Winter Soldier. I will be the first to admit that I don't know all about the storyline and how it shakes out in the comics, and if we know Marvel as well enough as we do, it doesn't exactly follow exactly what the comics does, but it does seem we're going to be having an undead tale showing up in the What If series, and I'm here for that. That sounds super interesting. Another storyline that we're getting is T'Challa becoming Star-Lord. One of the very earliest trailers, and only gets reaffirmed in further pieces that they let out, is that instead of Peter Quill being taken by the Ravagers, it's T'Challa being taken by the Ravagers and eventually leading the Ravagers as Star-Lord. It's even cool that you see in this new teaser, his like mask has not got the red eyes, but it's got the purple eyes, which is just very Wakanda T'Challa just esque, and I love it. And obviously it's Chadwick Boseman voicing the character. It's his last thing prior to his passing, so I'm just really excited to have that. It's incredible to have it. But secondly, that we have this whole new take on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a two-parter episode because there seems like a lot has to happen, because not only does it seem that we're going to have him lead the Ravagers, Star-Lord, but to team up with Thanos, Armored Gamora, Thor, and the other Black Panther, whoever that may be, perhaps Shuri, in the Avengers New York situation. This teaser, we get this glimpse of that. They're all, well, it's not even going to be in New York, but they're in that Avengers circle where they're kind of being surrounded by whatever the enemy that is oppressing. And you have Gamora, you have T'Challa's Star-Lord, you have Black Panther, you have Thor. So a totally different cast of Avengers, and quite frankly, I'm here for it.
Before we continue our video, I just want to let you guys know that we have a really cool Instagram that updates on a regular basis. So if you like all things Marvel, this is the Instagram for you. So go follow that filmartsy Instagram right now. You won't regret it, I promise you. Seriously, open Instagram right now and click that follow button. Now back to the video.
Now, those are the 3-4 storylines that I'm fairly confident are pretty close to what is going to happen. I mean, obviously I don't know the nuances of those stories, what characters introduced, but now all I have are these little glimpses, pieces, pictures to put together. And one that I think is pretty interesting is the really quick glimpse of the severed Ant-Man head and like Futurama in a bottle style. And I'm going to tell you right now, I actually think we're on track to have an Ant-Man Howard the Duck episode. Now, hear me out. How I think this will take place is Howard the Duck and Ant-Man, whether it's him in the future or this alternate realm because of the quantum realm with Ant-Man. Ant-Man has something happen. He doesn't look too upset about his head being in a jar. And I think him and Howard Duck will team up for a rather comedic adventure. I don't know exactly what they'll take on, but if it's got Howard the Duck, it's got Ant-Man in a head in a bottle, it'll be pretty ridiculous, I'm sure. We are also getting some more Loki in this series. It just seems like he's not going away anywhere, and we got Tom Hiddleston reprising his role as Loki. And in this situation, it seems that Loki has brought an army to Earth that's facing against Nick Fury's S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And in this scene, we see him with the casket of ancient winters. Let me tell you, I got two thoughts on this. This is either going to go one of two ways. So once again, this is a Loki variant, so who knows what this will be. This is either be Loki could be fully evil and actually completing his mission, perhaps even getting the Infinity Gauntlet. Who knows? Definitely sitting on the throne of Asgard and taking over Earth and all those things. Or it's going to be Loki turning good and lifting Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and becoming a type of Loki Thor. Who's to say, but we are getting a Loki episode, so watch out for that. And speaking of Asgardians, let's talk about our next Asgardian episode. It does seem like we're going to get some kind of square off between Thor and Ultron. It does look like we're going to get Thor and Ultron squaring off in Madripoor. And the only reason I have this is we have some sequences of it, Ultron and Thor fighting in a very colorful city. It's going to be fun. So Ultron, Thor, be watching out for that. Now, these last two are really thin, and that's because there's just not a lot here for me to work with and conjure up really an episode idea or even like a pair of characters. All I can tell you is this first one is we do have the Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange all somehow interconnected. I do think we might be seeing Spider-Man take the Master Sorcerer, we see a glimpse of it in one of the scenes that he will be the Master Sorcerer Supreme as Doctor Strange is. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I don't know if that character is tying into the battle between Scarlet Witch, because we do know that some people put the scenes together where it's showing that Spider-Man's web and Scarlet Witch are in the same sequence, and I'm sure Doctor Strange is along with that. It just seems interesting because that seems to be where we're going already with Spider-Man No Way Home and the Multiverse of Madness. I do think, we are going to get Spider-Man as the Sorcerer Supreme. We are going to have some kind of square off between him and Scarlet Witch. And we're going to be having Doctor Strange doing something with all that. I'm also not totally settled that Doctor Strange isn't behind the scenes in all of these episodes, noticing all the divergent multiverse situations. I know that was a lot, but thank you so much for being here for this video. Are you excited about the new Marvel What If series? I mean, it's bringing in a whole slew of characters, and not just characters, variants of characters. I feel like this new MCU thing to do. It's like what they did with Pokemon. They're like, oh, we like Pikachu, let's give him 5 different forms. It's like what we're doing with Marvel is we like Black Panther, let's have variants of Black Panther. We like Loki, let's have variants of Loki. And we're here for it. And what if they bring these into the MCU? I mean, what if? That's literally the name of the show. All that being said, are you excited about the What If series? Drop that in the comments below. What do you think is going to be happening? Have you seen some sequences in the teaser that make you believe that this type of episode is coming? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. We're trying to give you guys this content on the daily. And as always, until next time, I will see you later.